receive a lot of questions about how to moisturize curly hair. What do you use daily? How to maintain moisture in the hair. I can recall many clients sitting in my chair telling me their hair is dry, and when I would ask, why do you think that? The most common answer was because their hair wasn't shiny or felt dry. I would then say, moisture and shine are not the same thing. In this video, I want to help you understand the difference between moisture and shine and what it means to moisturize in your routine. First things first, moisture is water. Moisture is attained with the use of water-based products and is best installed in the cleansing and deep conditioning process. With the exception of a couple categories like edge gels and some oil serums, products are majority water. Products you use to cleanse contain surfactants to remove buildup and dirt, raising the hair's pH so the cuticle can open and allow water and nourishing ingredients to pass through. When you condition, the hair's pH is lowered back to its normal level and the cuticle closes. Rinse out conditioners contain ingredients that form a protective barrier around the strands to prevent static, friction, and environmental damage in the styling process and after. And treatments do all of that as well as fill in holes in the strands so moisture is trapped more efficiently and for longer time periods. Once you have cleansed and conditioned your hair, the styling products you use support that process by adding extra softness, shine, manageability, hold, and definition. These products are water-based, so they are able to spread and attach to the strands so you can set your hair into a style. If you read the directions on your stylers, most of them say apply to wet or damp hair. There's a reason for that. They work best with water on a clean surface. Daily moisturizers have become very popular as a product category because brands see you all clamoring to daily moisturize, so they started making products to attend to that for you. What is true is that textured hair is always on its way to being dry. There's a countdown clock that begins at the conclusion of your wash and style process for how long that moisture is going to stay in your strands. On average, that time frame is 24 to 72 hours for all textures. So what daily moisturizers are seeking to do is refresh the look and feel of the hair, but they have no effect on moisture inside the strand because their pH doesn't induce cuticle lift. So when you ask, how do I moisturize my hair every day? My response is, you shouldn't have to, because you should not have an expectation of fully moisturized strands every single day indefinitely. What you are experiencing is the feeling of dryness and not the function of dryness. The feeling your trained brain wants is smooth, supple strands, but after a few days, humidity breaks up the styling products you use and hair begins to frizz. That frizz is what feels dry to your fingertips and is completely normal. You have also been living with your hair, going outside, working out, touching it, all normal activities. So now you touch your hair and it feels dry, but really it just no longer feels like it did on wash day. For the sake of refreshing or restyling hair for aesthetic purposes, lightly misting water on your strands can help revive the product you already have on it to reset. Certain liquid leave-ins and refresher sprays may be helpful for smoothing, but they can also froth and become sticky depending on what's already in your hair. The same goes for daily moisturizing creams and lotions depending on the amount used and how they are formulated, so that can be very hit or miss. If you are retouching a few pieces of hair that have frizzed apart by adding a tiny bit of styling product you used to set it when it was wet, okay. But daily full-on restyling your entire head is too much. At some point, you have to become comfortable with how your hair evolves in appearance and incorporate accessories or migration of style through updos to accommodate the look of natural frizzing. If you are drenching your hair with water every day or using raw oils with the idea that you are sealing, you are over manipulating your hair, and over time that can result in structural damage, excessive frizz, loss of curl pattern, internal breakage. Drenching hair and restyling every day wears out the elasticity and makes it harder for the bonds that make your curl pattern to reconnect. The idea of using oil to seal is a moot point. For starters, oil is not a moisturizer because it doesn't contain water. Oils within formulated products become moisturizing because they have been balanced with other ingredients, hydrolyzed to make their vitamin content absorbable molecules, and then water mixed in it. There are a few formulated moisturizing oils I've seen that do not contain water, but they have other ingredients that mimic hydrophilic movement. Also, your strands are already sealed after the cleansing and conditioning process because your hair is smart and the cuticle knows its job. Everything after that is topical. So does that mean you cannot use daily moisturizers? No. But do you need to use daily moisturizers? No. This is one of those, if it works for you and you ain't got no problems, carry on. If you have problems, stop, drop all the things, and go back to the foundation, your cleansing and conditioning process. You may need a different styling product altogether that will better suit your desired outcome, or you may need to reevaluate your feelings towards the subconscious biases you have adopted around what your hair should look like. I say this with love and sincerity. Anxiety or obsession over aesthetics can be linked to unresolved trauma in other aspects of life, and a therapist can help with that. Just something to consider. Think about it like this. Your health is based on what happens inside of your body. The food you eat and the water you intake are what helps fuel your body, and your activity is what shapes your muscles and your physique. The clothing you wear makes you look good, but has no impact on if you are healthy inside. And how they fit depends on the body they're going on. Cleansers and conditioners are like food to your hair, and styling products are like clothing. This does not mean that styling products don't support your hair beyond aesthetics, but they will not have the same impact on the health of your hair as your cleansing and conditioning process does. If you start to wet your hair in the shower and water is repelling away from your hair instead of drenching it after a minute or so, you have product buildup and need to use a clarifying shampoo and stay away from the raw oils and layering products in every day after styling. Truth be told, a number of you all do not have low porosity hair. You just have perpetual buildup because you aren't cleansing often enough compared to how much product you use to style, and is drying your hair out from the inside because water isn't getting through to your strands. Here are some signs that your hair is chronically dry, meaning it will not absorb or retain moisture. Your hair is breaking at the rate that it grows. Your ends are thinner than your midsections and roots. Your hair is shedding at a rate where it is visibly thinner over the months. Your hair is very frizzy almost immediately after being styled. If you are not having these issues, you should relax. You're fine. From what I have experienced caring for other people's hair is that many of you are not resolved in how textured hair physically feels. Textured hair is not going to be supple and juicy and smooth every day. If you have highly textured hair, it's going to feel like highly textured hair. That doesn't mean that your hair is dry. You can watch my video on how to cleanse and condition natural hair for deeper insight on that process and things you can do to improve your regimen. Now, let's talk about the look of dryness that many of you are mistaking for physical dryness. Shine is based on light reflection in the prism of light as it passes through your strands and comes back out. Defined clumped curls look shinier than less defined curls because of the way your eyes process light. You will notice when you straighten your curls, your hair looks shinier because light is able to pass through and reflect in the strand more easily because the obstructions to light, the bends of your curls, have been smoothed out. Texture and tone determines how your hair reflects light. The more texture you have, the less light will reflect through it. The less definition or uniformity in the sections of hair, the less light will reflect. If you have off brown or off black hair, it will reflect less light as half tones are not as full and the hair looks dull. Damaged hair. If the cuticle is frayed from chemical, structural, or heat damage, the hair will lack luster. If hair has lots of product buildup from lack of proper cleansing, it's going to reflect less light. Shine is most achievable with hair color to deepen tone. Hair color has molecules that will attract and reflect more light and make hair look more defined. Formulated finishing products like oil sheens, shine sprays, silk oils, and certain pomades can give temporary shine for the day by helping hair reflect more light on the surface. Lack of shine is not an indication of internal strand dryness. Saying your hair is dry because it's not shiny is not necessarily true. Don't get obsessed with having shiny hair because for highly textured hair, it isn't scientifically realistic. While hair may be shinier right after wash day styling, that is the effect from the styling products you used, and humidity and natural movement is going to lessen that visual effect over the days. I hope that you learned a few things you can use to elevate and improve your healthy hair regimen. And if you take nothing else away from this, please know how your hair functions on this side of the scalp is linked to your foundation, the cleansing and conditioning process. If you get that on track, the styling and maintenance parts become so much easier. You can find links to additional tutorials and blog posts below on these topics or by visiting MoKnowsHair.com.